I'll make no secret of it. I don't like the idea of the current stimulus bill or relief bill or Make America Better bill or whatever it is. It doesn't make any sense to me. $1.9 trillion in an economy that looks as though it's ready to take off and run if the blue state governors will simply allow their economies to start operating again. But it did pass the House of Representatives. It is before the Senate, and the Senate is doing a little bit of a nip and a tuck here and there. They're cutting off some, and when you say the little things they're cutting off are the $120 million Silicon Valley train tunnel and a bridge in New York. We're talking about chump change in a total spending package that's about half the size of what we normally expect the federal budget to be in total. I thought we'd bring on David Ditch, who's a budget and transportation associate at the Grover Hermann Center for Federal Budget at the Heritage Foundation. David, welcome back to the program. And is this thing another stimulus package or just a giant Christmas tree with every Democrat idea latched onto it that they can possibly hang on it?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, I think the federal debt is way too high. I think we need to be cautious about deficit spending. But even if we were to say, let's just blow it out, let's just dump a bunch of money, put it all on the credit card and try to grow the economy, half this stuff wouldn't make the top 100 ideas for actually trying to grow the economy, for actually trying to create jobs. Now, if you want to give handouts to constituencies that tend to support one particular party, then maybe the bill makes a little more sense.
Well, and that's the crazy thing about it. In gross terms, let's do the 30,000-foot version, David Ditch. At 30,000 feet, 75% of this doesn't have anything to do with the China virus or its effects. The other 25% arguably could be, but that's only $500 billion. The other $1.4 trillion, it's getting tough with numbers like this, is going for all kinds of other stuff that doesn't have anything to do with it. So this is just an excuse for the Democrats. I mean, they're following Rahm Emanuel's old prescription, never let a crisis go to waste.
Absolutely. I mean, in what scenario does it make sense to give money to school districts that they won't be able to spend until 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now because they're still struggling to spend all the money that they've already been given? In what universe does it make sense to spend $90 billion bailing out union pension plans, which couldn't have less to do with either the economy or the virus? And one more thing, I would even say that it's less than 25% that has to do with containing the virus. I would say it's somewhere more between 6 and 9%.
Okay, and I'll buy that. And the stimulus part of it really hits. I mean, nobody complains if somebody just mysteriously sends you a check for $1,400 or whatever the final amount ends up being. But with most of the people that are getting it, since it's being sent out to everybody, that means it's going to a lot of people. I've actually had calls and emails from people like this, David, and they're good people. They say, Lars, this is last year, I got a $1,200 check. I'm working, my wife's working, we're paying our bills. We're never going to complain about somebody dropping money on us, but what are we supposed to do with this? And I said, well, I think they want you to go out and spend it, to which the answer is usually, there's nothing I need right now. So you throw it in the bank, you throw it in savings, maybe you throw it against an old bill that you'd like to pay off to zero. But other than that, that doesn't sound like stuff that an economist would say is going to stimulate anything.
And what was so surprising last year is that they sent out the initial $1,200 checks when the economy was in pretty rough shape. And still, for a lot of families who were being responsible, they paid down credit cards, they saved the extra money. I think that's the way to go for them. It's not good for the country when we're adding to the national debt so that people can pay off their personal credit cards. I mean, that's trading one credit card bill for another, really. But now, when the economy is in way better shape than it was last spring and early last summer, there's even more of that money is not going to go back into the economy.